Hi Libra, welcome back. Those of you who are new, a very warm welcome. I don't know what that is. Okay, we're going to do the live session for Libras. So again, if you're new, a very warm welcome. And those of you who are returning, sorry for the delay. There's been lots going on. We're going to tune into what's going on with you guys. And, you know, in an overall, it's really interesting, some of the cards that are coming through. Now, obviously, you've got your romance reading. Hi, Luciana. Hi, Google. Interesting in what's coming through. Now, although we had the solar eclipse and the partial solar eclipse in January and the total eclipse, as I said, you know, most of the frequency of what the changes are can come through in weeks coming. But it's almost like you're going to be in the thick of it in February. Now, a lot of what's coming through, what I'm seeing is you're going to have to take the bull by the horns. Now, there's going to be some domain in your life that you physically are going to have to react or literally take the bull by the horns. Yes, and depending on where Aquarius is in your chart, again, if you don't know, you can actually look up your chart and have a look at the house that Aquarius falls in. That's where a lot of changes will come through for you in that domain. So it can be in your self house, or it can be in your finances, it can be in your romance house. So depending on where Aquarius falls is where a major change is going to come. I will do an energy reading connected to the moon phases very separately, and the astrology. So after this video, I've got some clients' videos to upload, and then I'll be getting into the actual astrology aspect of things, and I'll come to you live for that because there are some interesting aspects and Cancer. So obviously, when it comes to that, a lot of dynamics all the way through to March are going to be connected to your family and connected to you being mature and how you're going to deal with it. So it's almost like a cleanup phase. Some of you on the accommodation front, you're going to be changing things or finding a balance within work, you know, making room. That's all I'm hearing is making room and balancing things out. Things on the home front are going to be changing. Now, it doesn't have to mean that you're moving, but it can mean that there are going to be changes very rapidly coming in. And really, all of your cards are suggesting massive change. Now, in your unseen energy, you do have challenging times, okay? Although the clarification card is magic. Now, the reality is, with this card, what I'm getting is that you have the ability to protect yourself. You've got the ability to achieve for yourself, and you are aware something's coming. So intuitively speaking, you're really tapped into it and you're like, okay, I can feel this frequency. Something's up with the universe. Something's coming through. You know, you sort of, I don't feel it's wary. You're intuitively connected to a point, you know, something's coming. So you're getting prepared. Be that in a grounded sense where you're like, okay, I can feel something's coming. Houston, we have a problem. And it doesn't have to be a problem. It can actually be energetically, you feel that a shift is coming and you're semi-preparing yourself for it. But with the magic card, you know, whatever surprises are coming, yeah, this is for Libra, whatever surprises are coming, it's not that you don't know it's coming. You have the sixth sense that something's coming. So even though it's in the unseen position, you're prepared energetically for any cat in the hat coming out at you. You're ready for that. You intuitively know. And it's interesting because, well, I'm probably going to jump around because I'm interlinking them. In the other people's domain, there can be external to you, people where you feel aren't gelling with you, okay? They're just not gelling with you. It's not someone you have a connection with, and this isn't in the romantic sphere. This is people in general that are putting their heads into situations that directly have nothing to do with you. And when I say nothing to do with you, it's none of their business, okay? So it's other people interfering in things that aren't on their side of the fence. So this can be on your side or another party's side, but it's directly correlating with you guys. It can also be judgment coming towards you. And again, it's like it's not the energies right to do such, but it feels that you're aware of these individuals, whoever they may be. And a lot of you guys are going to go through tests in February connected to how balanced you can stay when people are doing such. How would I put it? You're ready for it no matter what comes, okay? So they're connections that you might have fell out with, although they are still interconnected to you, but at the same time, you're managing the way in which you're relating to the dynamics, but you're also keeping yourself on your own side of the fence. So you're keeping out of situations that don't directly relate to you. This could be on a partner's side, it could be on another family member's side, whoever they are. You're keeping yourself pegged quite tightly on your side of the fence. You intuitively understand what's going on. Again, you understand that things are a process. So you're being patient with certain dynamics, but at the same time, you're fully aware of where people's intents are coming from. Although you're trying to have patience, many of you are wanting to be in the romance house, okay? So it's like you feel that you've waited a long time for certain things to balance out. But at the same time, you know, a lot of your energy, obviously with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, are going to be connected to work and your thought process connected to your romance house. It is balancing out, but I am seeing by March, that's when the slingshot effect's going to happen and things are going to be moving forward. One thing you're going to learn this month is very much that you've really earned your position. You know, you put a lot of legwork into your life, you put a lot of energy into connections or into your work, and, you know, knowing that you are reaching that pinnacle of success, even if you can't spiritually see it right here, right now. If you're training or you're going through upskilling through education, again, you are going to achieve the goals that you set out to achieve. You are going to get there, and it is going to be a beautiful reward at the end of it. So, you know, even if you're at the point where you're thinking, God, I'm juggling all these balls in the air, how is this going to work for me? I feel it is about balance, but a lot is really highlighted in the work and love or family domain at the moment for you guys. But you need to do some reflection upon what you've achieved, because even with the peacock, and that can be a totem for you guys as well, peacock feathers, the mirroring effect is look at yourself for a moment. Have a look at how far you've come. You know, are you actually looking at yourself from the perspective of what is truth? Sometimes we can be very critical on ourselves, and we're disconnecting from ourselves and tuning out of ourselves and looking at it from an external point of view. But you really need to look at your opinion of yourself right now and give yourself a pat on the back for how much you've achieved in such a short space of time. Employment wise for you guys also, again, you're going to have very clear targets of what you're wanting to achieve. This can be financially and at a 3D level within your employment. And I do feel, providing you're passionate about it, you're going to get the best out of the situation. But it is, again, being passionate about what you do is going to be key. Now, you've got inspiration in reverse. Those of you who are on the fence connected to work and you're not passionate about it, the key to it is actually locating or finding something that feels like a hobby that you are passionate about, that you can move towards. But I feel for many of you that are working or have been building something, it's about really putting your blood, sweat and tears into it, and knowing if you have already done that, you're closer than you think to achieving some of the goals. I'm hearing a master, so really getting to a point you're mastering a field that you're in, and balancing that situation out. And again, for some of you, it may be an old idea you're going back to of a way of doing something, and that's going to help flow that situation forward. And that can be why the inspiration is in reverse, because it feels like an old idea that you guys had been working on. Okay. If you're investing in employment, now this can be, again, upskilling, in anything you're investing in, make sure you're passionate about it. And if you have the love and belief in it, and it's coming from a place of heart chakra, I do feel it's going to bode very well. But it's a lot of work that you're singularly doing. It's not connected to another person. It's really the work you've done, both within your finances. So especially being a number one, it's all about what you've achieved. And you need to really look at that and be quite proud of yourself of how hard you've worked. Look, even if you're not working, even making it through 2017 and still surviving, you know, you must look at it with the self-worth energy that you've really achieved a lot to get you from where you were there to here and take it for a fresh day moving forward. Because there is luck around you connected to finances and your employment. Some of you had time out and it was like something that you needed to do so that you could actually see what you were passionate about in order to move forward towards your career. So don't be so hard on yourself if you have had time out and you've shifted, you know, you've moved your work around a little bit in a sense if you're an entrepreneur and you're your own manager. If you've shifted things, it's like you're testing scenarios and you're seeing what directly works best for you in the situation. But I do feel you'll have the key to it, but you're going to have a lot going on in February. In your health domain, and this is connected to your vibration as well as, you know, any situation, how you're going to flow throughout February. You're really looking at situations because you've done a lot of work on yourself. You're seeing the peace in situations providing you can detach. Okay, so many times, how do I put it? Many times when we're in pain body experience, and I've noticed this coming up for a lot of my clients as well, depending on how much work you've done, you'll find you'll get in the thick of it, you'll get triggered, and then you'll understand where it's coming from, because we can never, ever, like once the pain body experience is there, which is, you know, connected to the ego, it's not suddenly it dissolves and it doesn't exist. It does exist, but at the same time, realizing, okay, thank you. It's like a fire alarm or a smoke alarm going off. It ignites in you connected to a situation. You then acknowledge it. You then say, okay, how can I vibrationally retrain myself to a point where that's not going to trigger me anymore? Taking the information of what it's triggering in you, breathing, and then looking at it like the traffic lights, stop, red, and then, you know, yellow, meditate, think on it. Okay, where's this coming from? And then if you can't directly proceed forward, communicate, or you feel you're in the thick of the trigger, you must remove yourself from the situation if you can, and try and find a technique to use to diffuse that trigger point so that you're achieving dealing with that frequency. So when it comes up, it's almost like it has no power at all, apart from a beacon smoke alarm to acknowledge you've got to do something. So if you can work from a point of view of being detached and actually looking at situations, especially connected to other people who you vibrationally aren't connected with, or this can be on another person's side of the fence, it could be your partner's side of the fence. And if you can detach and find peace internally, you're going to be fine, you'll flow. Know where you have control and where other people have control, and stay in peace. Now, again, I'm seeing infinity. So some of you, this is connected to your twin flame, especially with the number one. So there is peace returning, but you've got to find the peace within and detach and acknowledge what it is. And that's when the healing can begin. So some of you will directly have contact with a high vibration soulmate or a twin. And I'm feeling it's more with that factor. Everything else is going to start flowing, but there's this area here that is being healed at the moment. But a lot of it is connected to your heart chakra, finding the inner peace and knowing it's infinite. With your family, some of you, how do I put it? Some connections at the moment you can't move away from, you're directly dealing with them. This can be with your children, it can be with your mother, father, it can be with your siblings. Again, the nodes are in Cancer, so any dynamic that's coming up, it may feel stagnant and the communication may be choppy. So it's connected to people you haven't had a lot of communication with, or the communication has been broken down. This can be that you're detaching from these situations to to see what's going to come about, really allowing that person to transform, or the people involved, external people, to transform, and you finding inner peace through the tsunami. So again, the challenging times that are coming, I feel it's connected to you but external to you, and keeping your compass grounded. So for some of you, if you're waiting for somebody to come in, it can be that on their side of the fence, the vibration's coming through into your reading, that what's going on with their side of life is directly coming through in your vibration, and you're not sure how to directly deal with it. But I feel a lot of this energy you've already previously, hi Maggie, a lot of this you've already gone through yourself spiritually, and this is where this peace comes from. And again, the pain body experience. So the mirroring effect is you can see what's going on, and it can, you're like, okay, I dealt with this X, Y, and Z, and how do I think this person should deal with it? Detaching and finding peace and allowing them to find that solution themselves. And some of it may even be out of their hands. It's just the chaos with the balancing of, you know, the frequencies within family and work at the moment. Now, in a traveling sense, and this is really what's interesting coming through with your read. Some of you, in a sense of how you're moving forward, opportunities are coming. And again, I'm saying the moon phases. And interestingly enough, the moon phase happens to be coming through in Aquarius on the 4th. And it can be connected to a high vibration soulmate or twin flame. So movement happening. Taking the lead. Interesting, because in one sense, it's asking you to detach. So I'm feeling there's going to be a time of meditation with where the moon's going to be. When it does reach the 29 degree and the 0 degree, it denotes endings and new beginnings. And this is the frequency of what is coming through for February. So for you to take the lead, it feels like it's going from one paradigm to another. So at some point, the information is going to come flooding in. You're then going to pause, meditate, assess, and feel the frequency out. You're going to allow the other people involved to own their power. And then at some point, when you need to react, you're going to take the lead. Okay? Actions don't have to be taking the lead, though. Standing in truth, being in your truth vibration, knowing self-worth, which is really interesting because that's come through in your Venus house. You will know when to take the lead. Some of you, this can be connected to movement, suggestions. Try not to come from that place of ego, okay? Because that's going to help you. But I'm feeling 2 sharp shifts for you guys. Again, I'll try and do the update mid-month for the general. Connected to movement, you're not going to waver from the path. You know what path you're on. You're not wavering off it. And you're going to be the educator by standing in truth. Okay, so again, we don't have to be a teacher by telling a person how to do something. Many times we can, having experienced it previously, we're leading by example, taking the lead by standing in truth, because we've experienced it. So we have unconditional love and understanding, and we can find peace through the trigger points, allowing the healing to begin in order for the control to come back. Okay, but control doesn't have to be holding on too tight. You know, codependent patterns and situations like that. Allow the cards to fall where they need to be and react when necessary. Now, for those of you in a left and right frequency, and it's interesting because there's a lot of 3s coming through in your reading. Even in the travel domain, 3 cards fell out. And I was initially picking only a card per section, but 3 in particular sections have fallen out. So you're really in duality at the moment. You're really able to alchemize what you're wanting to come through for yourself. In a left or right, dedicated effort. Again, you don't need to do anything, okay? So at the same time, it may be that you realize that you're right where you need to be. And everything does happen for a reason. And Giggle and I were talking about this yesterday. Everything happens for a reason. You are at the correct place at the correct time doing the correct thing. Don't psychoanalyze yourself. You've learnt these things in 2017. Vitality in reverse. What's gone is gone. What you're moving forward towards, the past is the past. Now, the left or right, wherever you are right now, and again, it's a number 8. Whatever you are doing right now, it is divinely guided. So trust in the process because things are coming to you. Venus house, ready, peeps? Love. Okay. There is peace connected to this. Again, interestingly enough, there is a green brooch very close to the base chakra for the feminine energy. She's also wearing a crown. With the yellow coming through, there's going to be peace and balance coming through. Now, even if you guys don't know what's going on, the interesting thing is, if you feel, and we all get, you know, caught up in this energy, everything's going to be the same forever. You've got the impermanence card. Nothing ever stays the same forever. So if you're in the thick of it and things aren't flowing, come back to your worthiness, okay? Because a lot of what's going on is about, you know, when we have that vibration of knowing, where you can release, you can let go and know who you are, know what connections are, know what you're made of. Everything you need comes to you, and it comes down to worthiness. What I am seeing come through for you guys very heavily is there is going to be things coming at left field. You intuitively know it's coming. So follow your intuition when it comes to this, because I do feel it's going to come through very quickly. I do feel external situations are being a bugbear, but you're very knowing that this is coming through. So you're very prepared for it. Are there any questions while I'm here? It's going to be interesting. I feel it's going to be very busy. It's going to come out of left field very quickly. Any questions while I'm here? No questions. Very strange energy. Yes, well, moving through to the weekend, it is going to be interesting frequency. And I can say a lot of, it's both feminines and masculines are going to be, well, that's good that you're seeing multiples that can denote communication and union. Yeah, it is interesting to a degree. But I feel those of you who are tapped in and tuned in, yes, sensing it, doesn't have to be it's directly connected to you. It is, but it depends on how you relate to it, okay? I feel it's external to you, so you have this interconnection. So follow your intuition about that, but it's a knowingness that something's coming. It's not going to happen to you. It's happening around you, so you're getting the download, if that makes sense. Please like the video so other Libras can get this video, please, guys. Hi, Andrew. How are you? Well, you can't lay low too much because anything that's coming up is actually helping you realign your foundation, okay? So when you're needing to look at things, don't not choose paths because you're holding space. You must be to the point where you need to get as much done as you can, because we have in March Mercury retrograde. We then have mid-year, we've got 5 planets retrograde. So when it comes, although this is the year of the pig, we're going to have more tropical weather. We can have more earthquakes, tsunamis, natural disasters with the astrology. We do have more ability to manifest our cash component due to the fact it's the year of the pig. The way we're going to be balanced is going to be better, because as long as we're coming from truth, we're moving forward. But if we pause and we get to a point, for those of us who have done a lot of spiritual work last year and all the way through to 2016, we're not trusting that we have the power and the tools to deal with the energy frequencies. And we need to get used to this, because Pluto's only halfway through its transit, you know, and other planets have another 7 years. So if we can't adjust to this, we're going to be up problem creek. I'll just say that. We'll be up problem creek. So we need to have faith. Home needs to be from within. to a point where you go, okay, no matter what happens, no matter what falls, I have the tools to deal with this. That's okay, love. Yeah, well, hey, in Australia, for those of you who know Fahrenheit more so, we had 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's dropped down to half of that, and it's doing that in a weekly basis. It's like peaking and then dropping where it feels like winter again. Very interesting weather patterns, but again, that is because of the eclipse energy. You do find a week to 2 weeks before and after each side. I had a download about 3 years ago connected to the burning ring of fire, and now there's seismic activity around that. And when it comes to Neptune, again, ocean-related dynamics, Pluto as well can create those dynamics. So with the transits at the moment, it's almost like the Earth is realigning. So we need to just be mindful of that. But next month's, well, February is interesting. So I will look into astrology today and do some research. And in the next few days, prior to the 6th, or the 4th, I should say, running out of time. Yeah, it's very strange weather. Yeah. Any questions before I go? For those of you who like the video, most appreciated. Again, if you are wanting a private booking, you can go to the link below and it will take you through to the website. Just scroll down on the first page and it's got all the booking prices, times. It has clocks for the world as well, so you know what time it is. I'm in Perth, WA, so that you can do the time difference on there. It'll tell you what time it is in the world. Any questions while I'm here? Yeah, because the like button is what helps the channel keep afloat, as well as it does help other people. If you do feel this video relates, you know, I do appreciate if you do hit the like button, because then other Libras can actually get the video and then they can connect the dots and it can prepare them for what's coming. Again, any downloads I do get psychically, I will come to you. I will be doing a twin flame update again soon, because I know a lot of you are wanting a twin flame update and there is some changes coming through. But I will love you and leave you at the minute.